Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this webinar on the topic of employee onboarding. Just doing a comparison of yesterday, today versus what are some of the paths ahead. In this webinar, we are going to talk about in specifically new hire and new employee onboarding. Before we go into the topic, just a quick intro of who we are. Onward builds Atlassian applications focused on worker engagement applications. To just level set, each team has its own natural workspace. What we mean by that is each business functions, for example, HR teams align on an HCM application, finance payroll team align on a HCM application, payroll and finance application, IT team on DevOps, development, project collaboration, etc. This has evolved over the years, right from the on-premise days to cloud applications. But what we have observed is in the when a candidate is hired, predominantly the engagement is emails back and forth, right from the interview setup to accepting the offer letter to the required documents to be submitted, etc. We want to pay attention to this, right, with cloud applications such as Workday, Jira Service Management, code deployment, GitHub, e-signatures, DocuSign as examples have tremendous API capabilities. How does the next generation onboarding looks like? Just to see where the reality is, right? Today we feel the both onboarding and offboarding sucks, right? Just that ground reality. Each organization has its own culture, own ways of completing the processes, but it's most of the time some are rigid, ad hoc processes, inefficient workflows, and at the end of the day provide a completely inconsistent employee experience. How do we get better? How do we look at what are some of the technology advancements that are happening? In the past, it was all about self-service, intelligent, FAQ search to help that self-service for employees or new hires to get on board. Then we saw the advent of chatbots, and AI, an automated way to help answer questions. While both of these were useful, help to provide that self-service, we are seeing, whole push towards generative AI, LLMs, right? We have yet to see the advancement there, and we believe a lot of self-service and personalized support is gonna be changing with advancements in Gen AI. And equally, the AI-based workflow automation, which is where we are passionate about having that in the common core HR workflows. How do we take advantage of workflow automation to complete? And then the next leap towards is that augmented reality. We are seeing that in the consumer space, and we strongly believe that impact will come into the enterprise, not so in the near distant future. Now let's dig deep into onboarding itself. If we look at it, it's a collection of tasks. Some are done by the new hire, and many of the tasks are done by different business teams. For example, IT responsible for setting up the user account, shipping them the laptop. Legal team is responsible for getting the IP, the contractual executions done. HR is responsible for completing the I-9 verification. The hiring manager is responsible for setting up the 30, 60, 90-day goals, assigning a new hire buddy, and marketing team is responsible for getting the swag and other marketing related collaterals to the new hire. These are time dependent, some are compliant, some are to help reinforce the culture of the organization. The vice versa, offboarding, again, significantly time dependent, high security, compliant oriented to make sure the access is cut off, ensure that the knowledge transfer happens of time, the hardware, the assets are returned. If we look at it, the current landscape is a whole bunch of checklists, project management, templates, managing it as incidents, and a whole bunch of plumbing that needs to happen to a variety of systems, like all the way from Active Directory to task management, project collaboration, and so forth. How do we put this together, right? Is this a responsibility of a HR team, or accountability, or responsibility of an IT, right? This is that convergence of HR and IT modernization that we want to, provide our applications to help solve these use cases. If we look at it, a lot of platforms, particularly Atlassian, has these product features, a good scalable incident management system, native integration capabilities, ability to set up templates, and so forth. How does that, the next generation onboarding experience looks like? We strongly believe it starts with coming up with personalized onboarding journeys. Ability to set up custom flows where we can have tailored set of tasks for a role, function, or dependent on a location. This way, an organization can set up journeys. Or, for example, a developer onboarding journey could be very different from that of a salesperson. Similarly, like a temp hire or an intern onboarding journey could be very different that of a functional or a HR related person. Then comes that personalization, an effective way to have personalized email templates, allowing the platform to create email templates very similar to B2B marketing based email campaigns, like account based marketing. We feel that will be there for internal employees itself, generating pulse service, custom image generation through Gen AI, and so forth. Then intelligent integrations, in a way where from the HR workflow itself, we can natively integrate to common HR systems. For example, in our application, we can natively connect to Workday, Bamboo HR, Greenhouse, and we have extended to Azure AD, Okta, Jump Cloud, and so forth. Then a repository of predefined tasks. These tasks are automated. These tasks have auditing and monitoring, wherein which if these tasks require approvals and human review, ability to configure it. And finally, having an omni-channel experience, meaning meeting the new hires based on their technology and a platform preference. For example, if a new hire is comfortable in engaging in a Slack-based chat message, SMS, email, WhatsApp, allowing that to be that primary preferred mode of communication, we foresee that builds a lot of comfort level and credibility in the early days as the new hire gets situated within the organization. So if we look at it, this new normal, or this next generation that we envision, it's a combination of the culture of the organization, and equally blending with the AI advancements will define the employee experience. For a simple example, when we interviewed the HR business associates on how many tasks, the number of systems, and on average, how many hours does it take to onboard a candidate? Invariably, regardless of the size of the organization, there are at least 20 plus tasks, 8 different systems, 12 different roles that engage with the new hire, and takes at least 160 hours for the HR team and the rest of the organization to successfully onboard a candidate. Why is this important? Because the automation is going to help the organization free up the time where the resources can focus on high value work. And also for the new hire, the new employee, this gives a first-hand experience of the technology maturity and also the company culture, which is very, very critical for that first experience by the new employee. Now, let me give you few examples of some of our recent implementations. One prospect, mid-size, around 2,500 employees, recently deployed Workday for HCM, has Greenhouse as their applicant tracking system, and uses Atlassian for ITSM. So if we look at it, this particular organization is not too small, but at the same time, not a large enterprise, which we define as 15,000 users or plus. So in this case, the customer has already invested in an enterprise platform like Workday, Jira Service Management, and Greenhouse. Using this and our application, the customer can easily automate and provide that employee onboarding and workflow automation to their new hires in a short period of time. Let's define these phases, distinctly. The first phase is the pre-hire. This is the phase where the conversation happens through the interview process, primarily, having various internal stakeholders interview the candidate, request for feedback and validation. Once that offer is sent and accepted, the pre-boarding phase starts. Usually, this is a collection of tasks that have to be completed by the new hire as well as the internal stakeholders. At this point of time, the new hire may not have access to all the internal applications. The incident or the task management is for visibility, monitoring, and automation as well. And the last phase is the day one, where what are all the things that we need to successfully complete so that the new hire can get started on his or her role. Usually at this stage, clarity on the role, communication to all the team members, access to internal as well as applications, so that the employee can be productive in a short period of time. Let's expand it, right? Particularly that pre-boarding process, where we want to make sure we are requesting the right level of information from the candidate so as to not ask for the same information again. So what it means is, as much as information we can extract from the applicant tracking system to kick off the process. And any sensitive information that we collect, like SSN, date of birth, or any other personal identifiable information, we want to ensure that is compliant, stored, secure, and transferred to the backend system for processing, etc. Usually, this involves an intake form, requesting for preference of laptop, address to ship to, etc. to, very specific, background checks, health screening, depending on the role and the prerequisites that the company has it. Followed by, auditing of tasks and the approval needed for to continue to the next phase of the onboarding journey. When customers, as the, looking at it, we, as I said, recently we worked with a prospect, we had these applications. The logical question is, where is that onboarding to be implemented? Should it be on the HCM side where I've already invested? Should it be on the applicant tracking side, or in the enterprise service management? We have seen today all these are in a way seeing advancements. HR applications building their onboarding app, recruitment and talent management having their own onboarding, and as well as enterprise service management. We believe having it in the enterprise service management provides the integration capabilities, auditing, compliant, and reusability for other external service management use cases. As I highlighted, today our application supports these endpoints natively into our platform. So let me just give you a quick overview of the application. Our onboarding and offboarding application is called OnRamp. Using OnRamp, we can create personalized onboarding journeys called flows. A flow is a collection of tasks that can be executed to ensure the onboarding or offboarding activities are completed. We can have flows that are role-based, for example, technical developer onboarding, seasonal hires like temp hire onboarding, seasonal hiring, function-based, like say for medical healthcare provider and healthcare related organizations, can have their own functional based onboarding, and triggering events based on HR applications such as Workday, Bamboo HR, Greenhouse, etc. A flow can be invoked for a predefined set of triggers. For example, a Workday employee hired, meaning a Workday new hire business process is executed in Workday. That is a very defined triggering event that we can pick up and have our flow execute accordingly. Similarly, we have a set of triggering events. A Jira issue request type could be a triggering event for us. Particularly for bulk hiring, if I have seasonal hires where I need to onboard 20 employees, that I can specify it in a CSV file, the onboarding process can kick off. This can significantly reduce the workload during high volume seasonal hires, interns, etc. A task could be automated or a manual task. An automated task by nature has API webhooks integrated within, where it can make a call and complete the activity. For example, in our task library, we have a collection of tasks where creating a pre-hire in Workday, that is an automated task. Creating a user account in Azure directory, that's an automated task. Manual task could be completing the 30, 60 day, 90 day roadmap. It is a task that requires a human assignment and review and approval. What we have is for the connections, these are native connections that we can connect from our application and map it using the standard Jira Service Management post function on a state transition. So essentially, within a task, when we assign and a process gets triggered, we can integrate our methods into the task, Jira Service Management task for automation. Finally, a set of dashboards. This is useful for stakeholders, executive management, hiring managers to see where exactly the status of the new hire that is being onboarded. This is useful for to do efficient, like improve the efficiency, performance monitoring, and any other risk, at risk status where if an employee is scheduled to start on a given day, is there a predicted risk to avoid based on the task completion and the wait times? Now to look at it, right? We have seen employee onboarding with email as the predominant interface for new hires. Rest of the business teams, even from marketing standpoint, have gone significantly advancement in significantly. We believe onboarding will change significantly by taking advantage of the AI and the technologies. These are some of the components that we feel strongly about on the whole new hire and employee onboarding. First, integrations. Ability for the application interacting with HR systems, applicant tracking system, enterprise service management, where a new hire has full visibility into the ongoing process and can see what sort of activities and engaging with the hiring manager and HR in a useful HR portal for communication. Second, personalized journeys. We feel that depending on the role and a function, your onboarding journey will be highly personalized and that is relevant for your function. This way, you can connect with the new hire and able to embed them quickly into your organization and the required culture and the core values that you want to reflect. Third, automation. The significance of automation provides security compliance, auditing, and as well as ensuring that your resources are focused on high value work and not on the automation and steps that could have been better use of by an automation. Insights, identifying at-risk steps, abnormal wait times, bottlenecks, and areas of improvement when we have the entire process that we can monitoring using in an enterprise service management. And finally, engaging with the tool of choice, whether it is text message, email, WhatsApp, user portal, providing that omni-channel capability will help to engage and not get bogged down by a singular technology interface. Hope this is useful. Thank you very much for joining the webinar, and looking forward to seeing all in our next webinar soon. Thank you.